Welcome back, my dear students. Um, we will calculate now the costs of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. And we will know how to calculate it and make yeah, here we go. The cost of goods sold. Let me go directly to an example because we have two statements today. The cost of goods sold is partial statement, and at the same time, it goes inside the whole statement of, um, and it helps in the managerial decisions in some points. Let's see how will I calculate the cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold, it will be the inventory at the beginning. As example, if the inventory at the beginning of the year or the period was 15,500, like it is here, inventory at beginning was 15,500 plus purchases. The purchases weight was 8331 as example. So I will add the purchases. Then I will add the cost of labor. The cost of labor was 12,350. This was the cost of labor. Then I will add also the materials and supplies. Let us say it was $8,200, the materials and supply. Plus other costs, any other costs that goes into the during the process of selling the goods, that goes here as well, plus other costs. Then this here, the subtotal will be 15,500 plus 8331 plus purchases plus cost of labor 12,350 plus materials 8,200 plus other costs, whatever they are, administrative costs or whatever they have been. Then those all together will come to 40,000, 45,000, $53. Now, this is the so this number was all the costs that I will carry for selling the goods which I have. I will deduct from this the inventory at the end of the year because I didn't sell it. I'm calculating cost of goods sold. So why I will involve the inventory at the end of the year as long as it is not sold. So I have to deduct it. So I will deduct the inventory or the inventory at the end of the year, which was 18,330. Then I will get the net or the equals the cost of goods sold will be 45,531 minus 18,330. It will give me this number 27,201. Again, I will say cost of goods sold are all the costs involved in selling, the process of selling, but not for all the units, only for the units sold, only for the units sold. So 15,500 plus 8331 plus 12,350 for the cost of labor, plus 8,200 for the materials and supplies, plus other costs like whatever it is, miscellaneous costs, administrative costs, 1,100. So the subtotal will be 45,531. But still, I have inventory is not sold, so I have to subtract it. So this is the total 45,531, the total of the previous 15 and those numbers. This is the total of them. I will deduct from them the inventory at the end of the year. Then this will be 18,330 minus deducted from 45,531. Then the cost of goods sold will be $27,201. This is regarding the cost of goods sold. I will stop now and we will have an example for the costs of goods sold. You will make an example. So let's say you have to calculate this example. To do this example, calculate the cost of goods sold, knowing that the beginning inventory was 100,000 and the ending inventory was 30,000. Purchasing during the process was 10,000. Supplies for 10,000. Labor costs for 20,000. And what I need is just to calculate the cost of goods sold, as you see here. Calculate the cost of goods sold. Now we'll move on to another example of the costs of goods sold. Here it is. This is cost of goods manufactured. This is the manufactured one. The beginning is the same idea. The beginning and the work in process, 6,000 plus total manufacturing cost incurred was 105,000. So all this will come to 111,000. But minus end work in process inventory, because this one, the in process inventory, which I didn't sell, so this one is still on process, so I have to take it out. So I will get the cost of good manufacturers. The idea in all of them, beginning plus during minus the end, always beginning plus during minus the end. This will give me the cost of goods sold, cost of goods manufactured. The rule is beginning plus during minus the end. This how it become calculated like. Here is another example for the cost of goods sold. Look at the same idea. Beginning inventory. Cost of goods manufactured during. This is during. Minus ending inventory. So this is the same idea, the cost of goods sold. Beginning plus during minus ending. Thus, it will give me the cost of goods sold. Now, I want to know something about the new ideas about the types of inventory. So, types of inventory, we have direct materials inventory. The materials like consist of materials in stock and waiting use manufacturing process. Work in process inventory, which consists of goods partially worked on but not yet completed. So they are working on it, but it's not completed yet, such as computer here, such as smartphones, those, okay? Finished goods inventories consist of all completed goods that you already done with it. So you have the start one is just raw materials, materials in stock, raw materials, okay? Second one, work in process, consists of goods partially worked on but not yet completed, such as smartphones at various stages of completion. So you're not finished of it, in process. So we have raw materials, this is the first one. We have in process, then we have finished goods, or FG, finished goods, which is the third kind. Those are, so if I ask you, what are the types of the inventory? What do you know about the types of inventory? Then you will tell me raw materials inventory, in process or in manufacturing inventory, and finished goods inventory. Because we start with the raw materials, then we go on process, then we have at the end the ending of the inventory. Here it's a magnified cost of goods manufactured. It's not cost of goods sold, it is cost of goods manufactured. So the direct materials, all of them, will calculate them, but we will deduct the ending inventory, because we said always we are calculating for the things which is manufactured and which is sold, but the one which is in the end of the inventory of the year and not sold, then we have to subtract it. So 11,000 plus 73 phases of direct materials. This is 84,000 minus ending. I told you all the cost of goods sold, manufactured, whatever, the starting plus during minus the ending. Start plus during minus the ending. All the rules for all of them. Then here we have 11,073 for the purchase of direct materials. That will give me 84,000. Now we will deduct the 8,000. What is the 8,000 for? This is the ending inventory, because we said we always deduct the ending inventory, the ending goods which is not sold, which is inventory as well. We deduct it from the cost of goods sold or cost of goods manufactured. Then all will come to 76,000. 84,000 minus 8,000, which is the ending inventory. This will give me 76,000. Then we have also direct manufacturing labor, the cost of labor. Usually the costs are the cost of materials and the cost of labors. So we will add the costs of labor because we are calculating the costs. The cost of labors is $9,000. The cost of labors is $9,000. Okay. Then the manufacturing overhead. In direct manufacturing, this is 7,000. Supplies, we got 2,000. Utilities, 5,000. Depreciation, 2,000. Manufacturing equipment lease, 3,000. And miscellaneous, like as example, those things like the very small things like pencils, pens, razors, coffee, just something you brought, some equipments for fixing something. So this we call it miscellaneous. Newspaper for the whole management, all those are miscellaneous. So those all together comes to how much? 7 and 2, 9, 9 and 5, 14, 14 and 2, 16, 16 and 3, 19, 19 and 1, those all together 20. So now the manufacturing cost will be, all the manufacturing costs will be the three stuff: 76,000, which is direct materials, plus the 9,000, which is direct labor cost. Then the total manufacturing overhead, 20,000. Then 76 plus 9, this is 85,000, plus 20. Don't look at this now. You already sum all of them to the total of all of them here. The 20,000 is the total of these numbers. So the right side here is for the total. So you have total manufacturing overhead 20,000. That will also be calculated, added to the total costs. Then 76,000 plus 9,000 plus 20,000, all will come to 105,000. The manufacturing costs will be 105.